Good morning, Flosstube. It is September 19th, Saturday morning, and I'm here to film Flosstube number 59. I cannot believe I have done that many videos. And today is our big day for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Much overdue, so we will talk about that at the end of the video. I'm not sure how long this is going to be today, but I have a lot to show you. So get your stitching, get your hot tea or your coffee or your soda, whatever you like to have with you when you're watching a video, maybe doing some stitching, and let's just visit. It is cooler today here in the state of Texas. We are thrilled to get a breath of fall in the air. It may not stay with us very long, but we will take it while it's here. And I have had some good stitching, so I've missed being with you, but I've been busy. Busy with work, busy with life, but also busy with my stitching. So let's get started. I think I will begin by showing you my finish. I always enjoy showing off a finish, and since it is Sampler September for some of us, I have finished the Cobweb Designs Mary Queen of Scots sampler. And you all know I've told you lots about this company, so I won't even talk about them anymore, but that's the source of this sampler. My husband ordered it for me, and I have it here on my little board. You remember that this is the oatmeal Ada that comes in these kits, and I have two other pieces with which I'm going to display this that are also from Scotland, the Roslyn Chapel pieces. Plus I have several more of these to do in the future, so I think I'm going to be consistent with the fabric and go ahead and do them all the same. Now, I have a confession about this, and I'm going to try to move the camera just enough for you to see better. I'm a perfectionist with my stitching, and I will frog and frog and frog to get it perfect. But in my older age, I am learning that there are so many things I want to stitch that I have to let up on myself a little bit. So this sampler is a perfect example of some boo-boos that are very obvious, but that I'm not going to worry about. And I will show you, but it will just be between you and me. So if you're ever in my home, don't call it to anyone else's attention. I was very careful in the counting and the positioning of the border. And I thought I was very careful with the positioning of the motifs on the inside, but when I started finishing this side of the border, I noticed that I was a space too close to my motifs here and here. The problem with ripping it out and fixing it was that I was out of the dark green floss, and it was anchor floss from the kit. My alternative would have been to try to order that anchor from 1-2-3 Stitch. You can order it, of course, and try to move, I guess, the whole border over. But when I recounted, everything here was in place. So what meant then was that I had probably miscounted here, and I don't know what happened here, people. So I just decided not to worry about it. Yay! And there was one other place that I had some difficulty. The Palace of Holyrood House, I ripped out twice. And the first time, I had left too much space here. The second time, I had too much space here. And now, as you can see, on my third attempt, there are 2 spaces here and none here. But I'm sorry, I wasn't going for it again. I was ready to be finished. I was thrilled with this design. I know just where I'm going to hang it when it's framed, and that's it. So there we are, Confessions of a Stitcher. I love the piece, no matter what, even with the boo-boos. And I guess to say my favorite section would have to be the Palace of Holyrood House, I think. This is just such a beautiful building in real life, and I love it on the sampler. But I also love the way she charts her trees. So interesting. And my goal, and I hope I can share this with you at some point in the future, is to read how all these buildings figure into Mary's life. I knew about Linlithgow Palace, but the rest of these I've got to do some work on. So there we are. Hopefully it will go to the framer, and would love to match those other pieces that I finished from Rosslyn Chapel. We'll see how close we can get to that. It was fun to stitch on Ada again, 2 anchor threads over 1 Ada square. I had an Instagram viewer who said she loves stitching on Ada. She's a new stitcher, and so I encouraged her to give them a try. So then, since I finished that one, I had 2 new starts, not just 1. But this one is going to be a Christmas gift, and it is also some stitchy kindness. My sweet friend Donna stitched this for a dear friend of hers and was not planning to stitch it again. And we were talking about stitching for family members and getting things done for Christmas. And she said, you take this and do it for this person that you're needing something for. So beautiful My Big Toe Designs. It is called Be Still and Know. And not only did she send me her stash of the pattern, but she also sent me a beautiful button pack. Look at those monarch butterflies and that ladybug. Aren't those precious? And then she sent me her extra fancy floss. These are Weeks Die Works, and I'm going to try to get them all up here. And I don't stitch a lot with other flosses, but this has been just a lot of fun to play with the variegation as I'm stitching. That's not a pretty display. I wish I could do a pretty display, but let me tell you their names. It called for Ivy. This is Ivy. And Red Pear. That's a pretty one. The blue, of course, is my favorite. Are you surprised? This is called Sky, and I'll show you how that's stitched up in just a minute. This one is Purple Haze. And then we have, Whiskey. This one is called Whiskey. I didn't notice that before. So I had in my stash from another sweet friend who had decided she wasn't going to cross stitch anymore, some of this bluish gray even weave, and this is 32 count. People, I've discovered something about myself. My favorite fabric to stitch on is 32 count. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. It's just my favorite. So that's what this is. And you can see in just 2, maybe 3 days, I've made this much progress. I wish you could see my variegation a little better, but the green especially, really pretty there. And the blue has some pretty variegation, a little bit in the pink. So I'm going to finish the words today, hopefully. And then I just have one other big flower and a couple of little flowers. And then those buttons. Isn't that going to be fun? And just a sweet remembrance of a verse that we all value if we are people of faith. So one Christmas gift almost finished, and then I'll have to decide about finding a frame or making it into a bigger pillow. I think it needs to be framed with those buttons. So Be Still and Know from My Big Toe, and thank you, Donna, for your stitchy kindness. Okay, there's not much progress on the birthday sampler. You remember Plum Street Samplers, A Shepherd's Song. I love this piece. But I just cannot get used to that 36 count 1 over whatever I'm doing. Is it 1 over 2 I'm doing? I have to be with my light in a particular spot to see what I'm doing. And some days I have to use the magnifier as well. But I did complete the mystery animal, except for a few white stitches in his legs. So what you see is the dog. Huh. And I got him finished, except for this little section here. We need to finish his little leg. He's really cute. I'm just going to have to go a whole week where I work on nothing but this so that my eyes get used to it, because it's been a challenge. And I know it's supposed to be easier to do the one thread so that you don't worry about the twisting and the way your stitches lay, but I just can't get used to it, people. I'm so spoiled to 32 count. 2 over 2. Okay, here we are. This is what we have. Don't want to forget my cute little sheep down at the bottom. I do have my variegated thread now that my daughter sent me for the grass, and I'm anxious to do some work down here in the grass. I think that would be a nice break. But I'm going to finish the little dog's leg and move on then, hopefully, to my grass. I may have put some more border in since I spoke with you last. I don't remember. But this linen, in case anyone is interested, is called Antique Ivory. It does not tell me the brand. Came from the Silver Needle up in Tulsa. That was the one I ordered when nobody was open during COVID. So it will be a beautiful project. I'm just not used to it yet. Okay. Oh, you have seen my Italian, no, not Italian door, my Scottish door. There is an Italian door also, but I didn't purchase it. And I actually got some really good progress on this one. This is not a sampler, but I just said, well, it doesn't have to be all samplers this month. So what I have on it, I put it actually on my scroll frame just to see how it would work. Can you see? So there's the door. And this will go to here. And then I was working over here on the side of the door and starting to get some of the flowers up at the top. Let me hold it up again for you with the actual picture. So I am using the kit fabric here, which is an Aida that is 14 count. And they do use Weigert in their kits. I'm really having trouble displaying anything today, so sorry. But that's been fun. I got a lot done on that for 2 or 3 days in a row. And I was enjoying A, the bigger stitches, and B, getting to use my scroll frame, which I had gotten, I think, for Christmas. It's the one that works like a Q-snap, where you snap the fabric on with the plastic clicky dowel covers. Anyway, that is Riolis, and that is the Scottish door, and that floss is the wool acrylic blend, which is a lot of fun to work with. I also wanted to show you that I had done my Be Still and Know with this little tiny hoop that I had gotten at John Lewis when we were in Edinburgh. This is nothing special, but it has been a great stitch. It's lightweight. This is the lightest feel, and I put it in my purse and worked on it when I'm away from home, but it has worked well. So I'm back to a hoop, and even though this isn't a fancy hoop, it works well. The tightening works well. I'm especially impressed with how light the lid is. So there's that. We always like to talk about our tools, don't we? I had a sweet Flosstuber enable me to purchase this next one. And I do think this is going to be the most fun stitch of the year. Molly West, Sensible Stitcher, and I have given her a shout out before. If you are not watching her, you must. I walk away from Molly's videos cheered and encouraged to stitch and to go love on my family. But she showed this in her, maybe not her last video, but her next to the last. And it is my first Panna kit. These are from Russia. And would you look at this Highland Coo, as they call them. This is Joe the Hipster. Now, when Molly showed hers, it just spoke to me, my husband. He loves Scotland. He loves the tartans. And I mean, who couldn't love that face? So I ordered it for his birthday. It came in a couple of days late. And when he opened the package, he looked at me and he said, "Do you want me to stitch that?" I should have played along with the joke and said, "Yes, this is your first kit." But I said, "No, I'm going to make it for you." I don't think I would curse him with his first project on Black Ada. But would you look at this precious cow's nose? Oh my goodness, how adorable is that? And this will be then his mouth area. You cannot really see, there you go, those brown stitches. So I've got this on my Q-snap. It seems to make it a little bit easier on the Black Ada, which is a challenge, I will admit. But it's definitely going to be worth it. I had to start him right away. And I'm going to get back to him this week. I have to be in that same spot with the yacht light right over my shoulder to see. This is, I believe, a 16 count Ada, and we're doing 2/1. And I'm not sure what floss they use. It is cotton, I know that. Oh, well, let me show you. Goodness, people, I'm scattered today. So I did what our beautiful Russian stitchers do and braided my floss cards, although my braids are not pretty. I may need to redo that. But this is just an embroidery, cotton embroidery floss. I wouldn't be surprised if it might not be Anchor, but I don't know what Panna uses. So there are Joe's colors. That will be so much fun. I'm going to keep working on him. I want my husband to have him framed in his study, whatever room. So, all right, one more that I'm working on, which is my Beatrix Potter sampler, which is also Cobweb Designs. And this is the one that went to North Carolina with me, and I thought I was going bombs away, and you remember I had some counting errors. I have not ripped out the issue yet, but I want you to see what progress I've made on the rest of this, since it is a sampler. And you'll see Hilltop House, her home, and you'll see that the border is around and it works, no problems. So I started the pink flowers one night just because I wanted to do some work on this. This is the section that's going to have to be frogged out and moved over to make room for the motifs that go in here. But I love the house and the little bench out front and the cats and the rooster and even the water pump. She does do some sweet details. So the border will go all the way around just like this. And then I'll have lots of motifs to fill in here. Since I love Beatrix Potter and her illustrations so much, when my daughter and I visited that part of England when I was visiting her over in Scotland, we were able to see Lake Windermere. We were able to see her museum, but we were not able to get up to her house. So that is on my bucket list, to see Hilltop House at some point. But just a gorgeous area of England, so much fun. All right, do you remember last video maybe, or the one before, I had showed you my fully finished pillows? I wanted to be sure that I showed you this graph in case you wanted to do. I've had a few people say they really wanted to do this one. So this is Lizzie Kate, and it is called Busy Bee, number 165. It should still be available. And at some point, if I ever decide to frame those, you can see how she has done those and this in a sweet little box, but wanted to be sure you knew what that was in case you needed to order it. I had not put it down below. Okay, we have stash and we have the giveaway winner. So much stash. So our Tudor Rose Sampler Guild had a special discount coupon from Beth Twist after she visited our virtual meeting. And so after that, I just had to get on her website and order the Prairie Life Sampler. I'm a big fan of Laura Ingalls Wilder and her stories, and this sampler just spoke to me. So we printed this. I did it as a download. I don't know if you have an option to do anything but that, but I know that I will get to this one probably in 2021. I just love everything about it. I know you're familiar with this, but so we added that to my stash. I'll have to decide about my fabric. I do know that it uses specialty flosses, but there is a DMC conversion. More than likely, I will do the DMC. It looks like, yes, she gives a very good conversion. And most of what it's charted for is weeks dye works. So yeah, I'll use my DMC. Maybe on those trees, I might try to do the variegated flosses. We'll see. But I love that one. And then I also received a very generous gift from a special person, and I don't have her permission to share, but I have to let you see this absolutely gorgeous Russian kit. It is my first Luca S, and it's called the Peonies. Is that not the most beautiful bouquet of flowers? This includes everything you need. It is on an Aida that is, I don't see where it tells, but it is anchor floss, and the kit is made in Moldova. Oh, that's so fascinating. If you will, look at that floss. Are those colors not like a box of candy, just ready to get into those? Sorry for that glare. So this will be a 2021 project as well. Just love all of those colors and the way they're shaded. It's just beautiful. I have a feeling there are going to be some blended threads in here, but I've not opened it. I will share that with you when I do. And along with this gift came this. Well, it was a gift card, and I ordered. We always have to try a new light, and the one I had broken. The one that goes around my neck that I ordered for travel is great for reading, but it's not good for stitching. So I ordered this one. I don't know what this brand is, but it does have several levels of light, a really strong clip here. And it uses AAA batteries, but you can also charge it with a mini USB, I believe. Maybe the brand, okay, it's called Mighty Bright, and it's AA batteries. Mighty Bright. So I've used it once. It works really well. I'm gonna use it some more just to get used to it. I think it will clip well on that Q-snap. It might even clip well on my fanny frame that I use, whatever those are, Hardwick Manor hoop. But anyway, another light. I'll give you an update on that. Now let me do 2 more updates and we will get the winner. If you are a reader, you know that my daughter has a BookTube channel. It's called MM's Musings, or is it M&M's? MM's Musings, I believe. She has a new video up several weeks ago in which she reviews a biography of Marilyn Monroe. It may even be Marilyn Monroe's letters or journals. I really did pay attention to the video, but I commend it to you. You will be intrigued. You may even want to pick up the book. So that is up. And I enlisted her aid to help me with my drawing. We had over 100 people who wanted to be considered for the giveaway. And so I did the old-fashioned, put the names, well, I kept a list and put the names on the list, cut them up as we used to do when we were teaching kindergarten, and she drew the name out for me. And I have to tell you that the comments were wonderful. The overarching focus of those comments as to something positive that came out of the pandemic was time with family, time to slow down and enjoy life, a closer faith, whatever your faith might be, and more time for our craft, for meditation, for finding peace in this crazy life. So you all meant so much to me in the comments that you made. Thank you. The winner, and we need our drum roll again, is Nancy Fisher. Nancy, you are the winner of a $30 123 Stitch gift card. If you will email me, my email is magnolianana7@gmail.com. Send me your email, then I will get in touch with 123 Stitch and have that gift card sent to your email. So I'll look forward to hearing from you. I will also make a comment on your comment so that you know that you are the winner. Congratulations, Nancy Fisher. I thank you all for your patience in this long time it took me to do this giveaway, and also in your participation. It was so exciting to hear from people and to see what they had learned and grown through in the pandemic. And I think that is maybe everything. I hope it is, although I had to give you a recommendation before I close, because I never give you movie recommendations. I'm not a movie person, but sometimes my family will get me to sit down with them and watch, and I am so glad I did this time, because this was a movie that won an award in Scotland, I believe, when they had the festival that they always have in August. I believe it won a couple of years ago. I think it's a British film, but it is called This Beautiful Fantastic. It's a title I have trouble remembering. I had to write it down. This Beautiful Fantastic. The stars are Tom Wilkinson and Jessica Brown Findlay of Downton Abbey fame, but the story was wonderful. I don't even want to tell you what it's about. I want you to, you can look up the trailer on YouTube, which I did watch after I watched the movie, but it's beautifully filmed. And as you know, I love character development and human interaction, and it is that kind of story. So please check that out if you like that kind of movie. There's no violence, there's no problem. It's just a beautiful, beautiful movie. There may be just the tiniest bit of language, but I mean just the tiniest. But you will enjoy it. Now, it is not a fast-paced action movie. It is a character meeting another character, living through life's ups and downs kind of movie. So go for that if that's your kind of movie. This Beautiful Fantastic. Okay. Long video. I may never have done a 29-minute, almost 30-minute video with this light glaring over my shoulder. I hope you were able to see something, and I hope that you will move forward with me into the next phase of my channel, whatever that's going to be. And I just thank you for being here and for letting me know that you're here and that you are loving your craft as I am. So enjoy the rest of September. Let's go into fall, October with joy and piece. And again, Nancy, get in touch with me, magnolianana7@gmail.com, and I'll get that sent right out to you, and you enjoy shopping. And thank the rest of you for participating. I really appreciate you. See you very soon.